we go. Yeah? Yeah. All right, let's see here. Excellence connection. Do we have a title? Who knows? We're just going to call this a regular stream. So, this is the part where we text all my friends that are wanted to watch the stream and didn't get to because it was over too quick. We are live, yo. Anyways, because for some reason the last time I did one of these streams, we had a problem with the everybody that, like, all the subscribers that wanted to watch ended up not getting the notification that I was streaming, and so nobody actually got to watch the stream. So we're gonna do a little bit longer of a stream today. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll see if it's longer or not. My stream timed out last time, and I don't have anybody watching it, so it was kind of one of those who cares things. Anyways, we're going to keep the chat open here. We'll keep that rolling. And yeah, basically what we're going to do... Hang on, let me just... for all the people, friends of mine, that wanted to watch previously and were not able to, I'm going to just real quick... No, we're not watching YouTube. We're just going to go real quick and send them a quick message, let them know that, hey, we are in fact live. So... we're just going to share that super quick here, and then we'll dive into the meat and potatoes of today's stream, which I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be about, but that's okay. We'll get right into it. Alrighty. So, we'll give this just here a minute or two and see. Let's see here. Let's see, where's my... That's the number we're looking for. Current viewers is still 0. That's okay. At the end of the day, I'm kind of used to streaming to nobody. That's okay. Maybe we'll get lucky and Mr. Beast will stop by and drop us off a super chat of, like, I don't know, some generous donation. I'm not asking for donations, guys. We're just here to have a conversation and have some fun. Alrighty. So, I guess let's talk about this truck. Sorry, I got a little bit of ice in there and it kind of messes with my voice. Mountain Dew boy, thank you. Appreciate that. We're going to talk a little bit about this truck. If you've seen any of my other videos, you might have seen that we bought this 2005 F350 at an auction. So what I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to switch the view from my camera view to the screen, and I'm just going to kind of show you the Craigslist ad for it, and I'll show you the pictures and kind of what it looks like, and kind of what we got going on and what we did to it. So I'm going to see if we can't get this thing switched over. Bear with me, this is the second time I've done this, so I'm kind of figuring it out. And if we go to that button, where are we at here? That should be, come back. All right, here we go. So this is the truck. This is what our Craigslist ad looks like. It is obviously our 05 F350. And honestly, like, I think this thing turned out really nice. We'll click, like, honestly, I'm a little bit partial because I went and took some pictures right at sunset so that it looked good. But, I mean, we've got all the pictures of this thing. Like, this truck really turned out clean. Like, it's a good looking truck. You can see we kind of shined up. Oh, stop it. We shined up our tires kind of right in here. But, like, as a whole, this truck looks fabulous. Like, it's a sharp looking truck. It runs really well. It drives well. All the service work has been done. It's just a fantastic truck. So, as a whole, I'm very, very happy with it. But, let's bring that back. Bring back my face. There we go. Hey, guys. But as a whole, it's a great truck. But now we got to sell it. I've had offers from a couple different people, both of which are people that I know. One guy that runs a landscape company, and it's not that he doesn't think it's worth it, so he just doesn't have the money to pay my asking price right now. He offered me $6,000. A guy that I work with that knows what this thing is worth offered me $5,000, and the reason I'm not taking that is because if he's buying it for $5,000, it's because he's just going to resell it. So if he thinks he can make money at $5,000, we're going to let this thing hang at $8,000 for now. At the end of the day, it just needs to move because I've got 3 other trucks that I need to get in, or this is one of 3 trucks that I currently own that I am selling. So I've got this one, and then I've got one like this that's basically this truck's twin, and I gotta get through and sell, get that one up and running and sell, and then we're back on the service truck. We're moving the service truck body and swapping it onto the F450 I bought, and it's just kind of a whole mess. But all that being said, yeah, we're doing a lot of truck parts. We're moving a lot of things around. There's a lot of things moving. And at the end of the day, I got to move these trucks because I don't make any money when they're sitting here. And I'm not making enough money off of YouTube ad revenue to just do projects for fun / YouTube views. So there's not really a point in collecting trucks, I guess. I don't know. We're going to go ahead. One of the things that I've started doing, if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, is I've started taking long form content videos and kind of condensing them down into shorts. And that's done really well for the channel growth. We've added something in the vicinity of like, I want to say almost 200 subscribers in the last like 3 or 4 weeks. So that's great for subscriber count. Our long form content videos, which are where the majority of the income that this channel makes is generated from, aren't doing super hot. So we definitely want to get more into producing more engaging long form videos so that they're more enjoyable to watch. I'd like these streams to get to a point of where we're actually like helping someone working through a problem that they're having, as opposed to just me standing here or sitting here talking about, you know, the status of the channel and showing you the truck that I'm buying. But let's see here. Let's talk about something fun that we got to do this week. So this week I got to work on a 2002 Ford F350 7.3. Great truck, right? So we're doing injectors in this truck, which is normally a pretty straightforward job right up until you have an injector nozzle that breaks off in the head. The problem with that is now you're working in a hole that's like that big around and about 4 inches down in the very back hole in the cylinder head, and trying to get out a piece of metal that's like that big around that's stuck in a hole, and if you push it too hard, it falls into the hole, and if it falls in the hole, you got to pull the cylinder head off. So to kind of summarize the thinking and the technique that we attempted, and then kind of what actually worked to get it out. So what we started with was a trick that I've heard about, and I've heard that guys have had success doing it, but I've never actually attempted it, and that is to take the glow plug out. Well, so first you take the rocker arms off so that both valves close all the way. Take the glow plug out, fill the cylinder with ATF, and then use a ratchet on the crank and like a second set of hands or a helper underneath with a ratchet on the crank to not compress, but attempt to compress the ATF. That ATF is going to help to break down the carbon that's holding that piece in place. And then if you strike the tip from the outside, so you're pushing it down into the hole, the fluid pressure will push it back out. So you can like hit it and shock it and get it to start moving, and then the fluid pressure will push it out, is the thinking. So basically take the glow plug out, fill it with fluid, put the glow plug back in, compress it, and try to shock it out. Now, we had some success with that. I was able to get the tip. It moved down about 1/4 inch, and then it stopped, or then I couldn't get it to, it wouldn't come back up. And we tried a couple different attempts filling the hole with ATF and tapping it. And I got it to where it would move, and you tap it, and it would like, inside of its bore, it would slide down and then come back up with pressure. And I did that like 4 or 5 times, and it's wiggling, and it just was not coming out. And what we ended up doing, like what actually ended up getting this thing out, is we stopped. We put air pressure into I took the glow plug back out, put air pressure into the glow plug hole, which pushes the piston to the bottom of the hole, and then kept that air pressure there. Brake cleaned out the hole to get it as clean and as dry as possible, and then took a length from a coat hanger, dipped the end in super glue, and then stuck it into the end of the injector nozzle that was broken, and then like dribbled some super glue onto the coat hanger, and then let it like run down into the hole. So basically we glued this coat hanger piece into the end of this injector tube, or the injector nozzle that was stuck, and then I pushed that down into the hole. So now the injector nozzle piece is hanging out down in the hole, but it's attached to the coat hanger. And then I was able to take a small file, stick it next to the coat hanger, and just kind of work around it and clean the hole up enough to where I could pull the coat hanger and injector nozzle out. So that was a big win because it saved the customer from having to pay us to take the cylinder head off. So that was fantastic. Took a lot longer than I expected to. That was probably 3-ish hours worth of work to get that piece out. But at the end of the day, we got it done for the customer. And I can feel good knowing that there's one, maybe 2 other shops in the Phoenix Valley that would have even attempted that repair. Like 99% of the shops out there would have been said, sorry dude, it's broken the head, we got to pull the cylinder head. Which isn't the end of the world, but it's substantially more intrusive. It's a decent bit more money. To pull a head on one of those is probably another 6 or 7 hours. Excuse me, I'm a little tired tonight. But to pull a head at 6 or 7 hours, you figure $110-ish an hour. We're talking $600-$700. So the fact that we were able to do it for a couple hours of extra time to extract it instead of having to pull a cylinder head, and then the follow-up thought to that is not being married to the job that we're working on. Toddler just walked in the room. Anyway, so the advantage of not pulling a cylinder head is that then we're not married to the job, which means that if a problem comes up with the cylinder head, it's not our fault. We didn't work on it. The less stuff that you can disturb when you're going in to do a repair, the better, just as a general rule. So yeah, that was kind of my Friday morning, all day Friday really was that stupid truck. But at the end of the day, we got it done. And that's really what our goal is for our customers, is to get their vehicles repaired as quickly as possible and as cost effective as we possibly can. So at the end of the day, right, as an auto repair shop, and again, just as a reminder for you guys, I don't own the shop, I just work for the shop. But the thinking behind our shop is, like, we have to make money, right? We've got bills to pay. I can't even count off the top of my head. There's 5 or 6 different families that rely on the income that's generated from the employees that work for the shop. So, like, there's a lot of people that rely on the shop for income. So the shop has to be profitable so that we can continue to take care of people. But at the end of the day, we want to take care of our customers, and we don't spend any money on advertising. Our thinking is that word of mouth is the best advertising you can get. And at the end of the day, if we take care of the customer, that's what matters. Because so many shops out there are strictly focused on the dollars. They're strictly focused on the bottom line. They don't care about the customer. They want to do the minimum to just get you out the door and get your money. So we believe in taking care of the customer. And so that's what we do. And sometimes people take advantage of that, which sucks when that happens. But it does happen. But at the end of the day, I think it's better to... I think from a standpoint of doing business with integrity, it's better to be taken advantage of from time to time, customer taking advantage of you, as opposed to taking advantage of every customer that walks through the door. So that's just kind of my take on taking care of customers. Looking through here at our... so we use a service called Identifix, which is from... Solera owns it now. It used to be Direct Hit. Anyway, Identifix has been around for a long time. It's kind of like the industry standard of, like, I guess a fixed database, you could say. And they have, they ask that if you use their service, they ask you to, like, update, like, hey, if you looked at this article about this problem, they ask you to tell them what fixed it. That way they can update their map. And so you can see a list of confirmed fixes for that problem. So I'm just looking here on my other screen at some of our more recent problems that we had that came up. And one of them is, oh look, hang on, say hi. This is my 2-year-old. Wait for it. Oh, it's loading. Anyway, this is my 2-year-old. Say hi. Daddy's streaming right now. I'll be out in a little bit. Love you, baby.
Hello, you hear me?
No, I'm not holding you the whole time. We're talking to the world about cars and broken things. All right, well, I guess we're going to hold you for a little while. So we had this 2006 Hummer H2 that came in, and the concern was an intermittent battery draw. So what we found was there were a couple different fuses that, like, if you pull the fuse and you put it back in, it starts working again. And but it wouldn't always fail, but sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. And what we ended up finding was the vehicle communications interface module, which is responsible for communicating between the OnStar system and the rest of the vehicle. That module was... No, I need you to be quiet, honey, if you're going to sit here. I love you, but you got to be quiet. That module was waking stuff up because that module has the ability to override other modules. So if you're in a crash, the OnStar module can, override the radio. It can wake up the PCM. It can do all this stuff. And what was happening was that module was staying on in a very limited capacity, and it would send a wake-up signal out to these modules as they were all trying to go to sleep and turn off. It would send wake-up signals out to them, and that would cause our battery draw. So we were drawing about 2.7 amps, so it would kill the battery overnight. Generally, with any kind of a battery draw, you're going to want to be under 50 milliamps, so that's less than 0.005. 0.05 amps is the maximum allowed for most manufacturers. Okay, dude, no, we can't have noises. I need you to go out. You need to go out. Right now. Go play with your sister. Go. Anyway, in case you guys can't tell, it's not just fixing cars here. We also do parenting, dads. Bear with me for 1 second. Let's pop you over to the this screen. This one here. 1 second, hang on. Paris, you need to go out. You cannot be in here right now. Daddy's working. You may take the cards with you. Out of your mouth. Parenting toddlers is really a lot of fun. For some reason, my 2-year-old has decided that the thing to do now is put everything in her mouth. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't like it. She's not put things in her mouth since she was like 1, and then suddenly we're back into putting things in her mouth. So, I don't know. But at the end of the day, oh well, part of being an adult. Anyway, so yeah, we had the Hummer, and we thought we'd fixed it because we found if you took the radio fuse out, it looked like the radio was the draw. If we took the radio fuse out, the draw went away, somewhat consistently. And then what we ended up finding was that the radio was causing the draw, but it was causing the draw because it was receiving a wake-up signal from the other module. So whenever you're running into any kind of when you're chasing a parasitic draw in a vehicle, always figure out what circuits are tied together. And that's kind of the secret sauce to it. So that's that. What else are we talking about today? We updated the new... what was I even saying? Got the new camera system installed at the house. Not really a point in showing you that because it's just simple and easy and it works. We are going to be going up to, I'm going to be going up to the great state of Washington, up where I used to live, be hanging out with my best friend, which is super cool. And we might film a little bit of content up there, working on putting together his 80, 90, whatever year. He's got a Toyota 4Runner that needs an engine, so we might do a little bit of work on that. But for right now, I've got a headliner video that's going to be coming out in the very near future. We put a new headliner in this F350, and you can actually see the material right there. I think that'll show up on the camera. And that is the new headliner material. We were able to put a whole new headliner in a single cab truck for like $45-ish. So it's that little gray roll on the shelf back there. Anywhoosly, the point of all that is that we're trying to flip this truck and make some money so we can put money into the next truck and make some money so we can put money into the next truck. Again, I already own all these trucks and make money on that. And then once we get done with all of that, then we can put money into the service truck. So the tentative plan, just for like a long-term kind of channel outlook and what we're doing and where we're going, is I'm hoping to, within the next 12 months, sell my house in Arizona and go somewhere else. We're not exactly sure where somewhere else is right now, but that one's kind of up in the air. I'll keep you guys up to date once decisions are actually made and we know which direction we're going as far as that goes. But the plan is that I'm going to be selling and relocating out of state and taking the service truck with me, obviously, and then within 6 to 12 months of landing wherever we land, we're going to start and we're going to move into full-time running the service truck. And then the plan would be to grow running the service truck into eventually adding a physical location and growing the business into a full service auto and diesel repair solution wherever in the country we end up being. So that's kind of what we're planning there. So if everything works out right, this truck pays for all the next truck. This truck pays, the profit from this truck will pay for all of the repairs for the other two trucks, as well as the initial acquisition for them. Basically, we sell this truck and we're like breaking even, and the next two trucks we sell are going to be all profit, and all that profit then goes into putting an engine in the service truck, building the service truck into just the ultimate service vehicle, and so we can do all the upgrades. We can do the lights, we can do toolbox lights. I'm thinking of building toolbox heat, like all the things that we can do to that truck because we have money from the other trucks that we sold. Also, I like doing the auction thing, so we'll probably do that again. Maybe we buy a skid steer. I don't really know anything about skid steers or heavy equipment, but it's definitely on my list of things that I want to do. So that's kind of that. What else is new and exciting? Oh, so we have had a bunch of... I posted a short here about, I don't know, a month ago or so. And it's basically like a 35-second video of me talking about just kind of some best practices or, kind of tips from a professional when dealing with the Snap-on truck. So Snap-on, if you're not familiar with it, is kind of like the gold standard in auto repair tools. And they're really nice tools. They carry a great warranty. They're great tools. In recent years, other companies have kind of come into the market and started to compete with them for that kind of, position of best tool in the market. And a lot of companies really do give them a run for their money. There are some things that I don't think anybody can touch, and that is ratchets, sockets, and wrenches. I don't think anybody touches Snap-on for those three items in particular. But I posted this video, and it's just a couple of video clips of walking on the tool truck and some tools that are on the tool truck, and just talking about some best practices. And this video's got, I think right now we're at like 38,000 views on it, which for a short is like, okay, it's doing pretty good, but it's still a YouTube short, so they reach a lot farther than other video types do, just because people are scrolling through, and the average person scrolls through, 40 or 50 shorts per session. Anyway, the point is, a ton of people are commenting on this video, and like the most common comment that I get is like, first tip, don't get on the truck. And I wanted to take just a moment to address that and kind of talk about why I think... Let me back up. A lot of people have commented on that video talking about Snap-on tool tips, and have really had a lot of... Basically, everybody says, well, the best tip is don't buy from Snap-on. And I think that's not really correct. And I've attempted to articulate that by replying to just about every single one of the comments on that video. But there's a time and a place for Snap-on. And if you're a professional that does this for a living, and you're actually serious about this trade, and you care about the quality of work that you put out, you buy Snap-on tools. Not every tool needs to come from Snap-on, not even the majority. I mean, probably 40% or less of my tools are Snap-on brand. I have Snap-on toolboxes because I think they're the best toolboxes on the market. And we could go anyway. We want to go on that particular thought, because really at the end of the day, the box doesn't make you money, the tools make you money. But I think that when it comes to Snap-on tools, there are tools that you should buy, and things that you're going to break regularly, you should buy from a tool truck, whether it's Snap-on or somebody else. But things that like really matter, so things like a good quality wrench that's not going to round off fasteners, that matters a lot as far as, it's worth spending money on, because if you have a low quality wrench versus a good quality wrench, the difference isn't just like, well, the low quality wrench gets it done. It's like, but what if it doesn't? What if that low quality wrench rounds a bolt off? Now what do? Now we got to go spend more money to buy, extraction tools and figure out how to get this broken bolt out. And so it's like, it all kind of snowballs. So there's a time when quality tools really make sense to have for a professional. I don't think that most DIYers need Snap-on tools. There's a very large channel. I don't know how many subscribers. He's up to millions now. Cody from Wrangler Star. Big YouTube channel. His whole thing is the professional homeowner, which is great. And I love Cody. It'd be cool if we knew him, but I don't actually know him. But he was talking about, he got the new Snap-on pliers and was showing you can pick up a nickel from the little ridge on the edge. And that's cool. And they're great. But 99% of people don't need a pair of pliers that's that good. Like, your $5 ones from Home Depot are going to get the job done, 90% as well as the $55 pair from Snap-on. So there's a time and a place for it. I think most people don't need Snap-on. I think if you're a professional or really just a serious DIYer that wants to step up your game, getting a couple of Snap-on tools in specific areas is really not a bad thing to do at all. Now, that being said, I only think that's the case if you can afford it. So that means, paying cash for the tool. And a lot of times when you pay cash or you pay all at once, even if it is with a card, a lot of these guys will give you a discount. So it's like, okay, well, the list price is $200. There's a lot of time. Well, it depends on your dealer as far as like cash discounts. But if it's like, it's $200 and you can do, $20 a week on it, it's like, okay, cool. But a lot of guys will be like, I'll knock it down to $190 if you can pay it all today. So just be aware of that as you're going in and interacting and dealing with tool trucks like that. So that's kind of the spiel on tools. But with the advent of Amazon, there's so many tools you can buy just from the internet that are great, if not comparable quality. So while we're just talking about Amazon, I want to touch briefly on Matco tools. So Matco tools, the only thing that Matco actually manufactures is toolboxes. They don't make any of their stuff. Excuse me. It's all rebranded from lots of different manufacturers. So, like, all of Matco's air tools are rebranded Ingersoll Rand. A lot of their stuff is rebranded Sunex. So, like, it's not that they don't sell good quality tools, it's that it's all rebranded, which means if you go to the original brand, you can get it for cheaper. And we've got a terrible Matco guy where I'm at. My shop actually kind of ran him off. So that was fun. Yeah, he screwed a number, like 3 or 4 techs in my shop. Mind you, at the time, we were a shop of 4 techs. And he screwed 3 of us, myself included, on warranty stuff that was obviously warranty. So one guy bought a power steering pulley puller tool, and it broke the first time he used it, and he took it back to the Matco truck like the next week, and the guy was like, oh, you used a power tool on it. There's no warranty, dude. You obviously abused this thing. It's like, no, he didn't use a power tool on it. It's just a cheap tool that broke the first time he used it. So there was that. And then mine was, I had a punch. Like, this thing cost like $18 when it was new, which I'm sure is marked up a decent amount, right? And over time, when you use a punch, the end kind of gets mushroomed out depending on what style punch it is. And so I had taken this punch and I had dressed it with a grinder, which is what everybody tells you to do. Like, every tool. Like, when he was like, yeah, you touch it with a grinder, you void the warranty, dude. Sorry, like, have a nice day. And I was like, dude, this is dumb. Like, you've got to be kidding me. So I texted all of my other tool dealers that I know from years past and discovered that every single one of them was like, yeah, dude, I'd warranty that in a heartbeat. So anyway, we had enough problems with Matco that we just got rid of him after a while. Yeah, so that's kind of the shtick with that. What else could we talk about? We could talk about the weather. It's been hot here in Arizona. We've been daytime highs like 80s into the 90s. It's just been absolutely ridiculous, and it's dumb, and it makes me want to move because I don't like dealing with this crazy high heat. So, anyways, I think that's probably where we're going to wrap this one up. I apologize, this one was a little more rambly. With any luck, we're going to do these a little bit more often, and we're going to get into where we're able to do more helping people out with their problems. So we'll get some engagement in the chat, or email me if you've got problems that you want me to go through on these live streams. I'd be happy to do that, and we'll kind of go from there. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.